Hi, gentlemen.
Welcome back.
Happy Friday.
We made it. You guys got your Friday started early last night, though.
I mean, Friday starts at midnight.
Can we make up, and look here, the 103 Club, we're back at it in effect. Neil Rule, Stick. We got our guy over there, too. We got Nick Leach here in the house. And can we make a pact? When you're going to start drinking, can you, like, not send it? Because I feel as though, if I'm not, which I wasn't yesterday.
And then you get the pic.
And then I get the picture, and you're like, hey, I'm having an old-fashioned, because that's what you do.
Yep.
It's your staple.
Yep.
I feel as though I'm letting the group down if I don't then go pour myself one,
It's kind
which
of a
I did.
club. It's a club thing. It's like a rule.
Right.
Right. And last night I was at the Standby in Detroit. Nice little intimate spot. They had two types of different old fashions. Their traditional one, very good. The other one, like, this goes back to our first episode. Quit fucking with the old fashioned. And not only that, then I went to another place, and they had an old fashioned with a pineapple slice and chocolate bitters. And at first
No
you're
way
Oh,
that's good.
That's not an old fashioned.
It was awful. It was awful.
Call it a new fashion.
I barely made it through it.
Is that like a thing for real? Like a new fashion?
I think I just made it up. To be
Oh,
Oh,
honest
did you?
with
Okay. I
Call
was
it
worried that
bullshit.
was a
That's
thing.
what I call it.
I mean, it could be a thing.
Well, you guys know how it is, man. In today's day and age, like there's got to be some kind of customization to it, and that's the way. I'm going to sound kind of old man here, I guess, but like that's the way the corporate thing works, where they give you a basic, but they give you a variation on it, so you think it's personal to you, so you
Right.
feel more connected to it. I think that's how they do that, and they're taking it too far, man.
I blame the hipsters. It's definitely the hipsters.
The millennials or the hipsters,
Yes.
Well,
or Gen Y or Gen Z or
I
the
bought into
boomers.
it. I bought into it, and I went for it.
Look at you.
I know.
You should have known better. I mean, you're part of the blame. You're part of the blame.
You are, but you know what? I think you're self-aware, Stick. You've been around long enough, dude. You've been there. You've done that. You know when you got to raise your hand and say, "That's on me. I got to wear that one."
Yeah. Pineapple and chocolate bitters, not a good look. Not a good look.
This is where too, like my little life theory, where there's only really 5 different things that happen to us in life, and it's all a different variation with different circumstances.
Like plots in Hollywood movies?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's only 5 of them.
Yep.
And what you're experiencing right now is where I was at with my NCAA tournament bracket. I took Tennessee to go to the Final Four, and it's Rick Barnes as the coach. And I'm in college basketball. Like, I should know better than that. But I didn't. I made the mistake. And look it.
Right.
Same deal as you
Yep.
with a pineapple chocolate old fashioned is me with Tennessee in the Final Four. We have no one to blame but ourselves.
When you said it out loud just like that, I got disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
Well, you should.
It's kind of like therapy. Like
Yeah.
drinking therapy.
Yeah.
Like a different kind. Not the AA kind, but
Forgive me,
different
103, for I have sinned. I have tried an old-fashioned made from different ingredients of an old-fashioned.
kind. You've righted your wrongs.
Yeah. That's all. I think that's all anybody's looking for, man, is some accountability.
Yeah.
You didn't blame me.
No,
You didn't blame Nick.
I didn't blame the bartender. He
You didn't
made
blame the
what I
bartender.
ordered.
It's not his fault at all.
It's not his fault. It sucked.
This reminds me of like confession right now. I feel like you're in confession. Now you have to go home. Instead of doing 15 Hail Marys, you got to go home and drink 15 original old fashions.
Well, he'll do that throughout the course of the weekend anyway. Sin or no sin.
Threaten me with a good time. I mean, it's Easter weekend. What do you think?
It's about the sacrament.
Yeah.
Have some of the sacrament. No, but it. I think we're all just looking for accountability. And Stick, you have accountability in that. You're culpable. You know what your blame is, your level of blame.
Yep.
It ends and begins with you.
I have found the error in my ways, and I will not repeat that.
Are
But
you-
I will repeat it, because the next time I see a weird old-fashioned, I'm going to try
You're gonna
it. Like, and I thought about that. Like, we should start, like, rating them at different bars around the city and, like, put up a blog on woodwardsports.com. And, like, we could really do some damage and really elevate the old-fashioned game in this market.
might be 20 years down the line at AA. Nick, how'd you become an alcoholic? Fucking 103,
103 Club. And they're like,
And they're going to be the
wait a
103
minute, the
Club?
103 Club?
Yeah.
How do you know about the 103
Right.
Club? I was a founding father.
Yeah.
And everyone will go, oh.
Guy's a legend around here.
Oh, I stole your cup, Nick.
You did, and that's how I was like, oh, I
Oh, well.
thought you were going with it. So
That's all right.
Yeah, why do you have
All
a
right.
handle?
here's a question for you guys. When you guys like fuck something up, are you guys the type to own up when you do it, or are you the type
100%.
to? Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure we're all on the same page here.
Yeah, no, I probably take too much credit even when I don't fuck up. I take the credit because it just alleviates a lot of issues. Like, when you take credit for something, it disarms people. Like, Hey, you should have done this. You're right. I should have done that.
Where do you go? And that's a thing. Where do you go? You take away all the outs.
Exactly.
You take all the toothpaste out of the tube. There's nowhere to go.
Yep.
Well, it's like even like back when I used to work at the golf course and stuff. Like they're like, "Well, why'd you show up late today?" I was like, "Oh, my alarm didn't go off, but I'm here." Well, don't make excuses. I was like, "It's not an excuse. That's what happened." So
I'm giving you reasons,
yeah,
not
I'm
excuses.
giving you like I have nothing to hide here. Like I will tell you when I've screwed up. I will tell you when I've messed. Like I've got nothing to hide.
So my old dean of discipline at St. Mary's Reference, dropping bombs. His name is Rich Rychek, and I had a detention one time, and he was
For what?
I forget. I had so many detentions. I think it was for like throwing a freshman into a bush or something.
That'll do it.
Very on brand.
I did get a detention for abusing underclassmen was what was on there.
Oh,
So
okay.
bullying.
But I'm not sure if that was that incident.
Stick was a bully.
No, it's part of an initiation, right? Like we all were thrown in bushes as freshmen. It's part of it.
Yeah.
But either way, Rich Rychek instilled that very theory in me because he would go around the room, and he was a military guy, Mr. Day, why are you here? And I'd start to try to explain, and he'd just say, no excuses, you messed up. And that's all he wanted to hear was, why are you here?
That's all anybody wants to
I messed
hear.
up. That's why I'm here. I messed up.
Why
And
can't people say it?
And he would go around the whole room and make everybody just acknowledge that they messed up. Not why you messed up, not how you messed up, just acknowledge you messed up. And ever since then, and that was like my sophomore year, like I lived by that. Like, why are you, what happened? Well, I messed up.
And it's funny because I talk about this with my kids all the time. Why can't we say I was wrong? Why?
It's a stigma where people are afraid to get in trouble.
Is this like a part of the social media era too, where you don't want to be perceived as, being wrong or being not right or whatever?
So it's funny you actually brought that up because I've got a couple classes left at Wayne State that I'm finishing up, and one of it was talking about social media and taking a social detox. And I'll never forget a teacher told me, and I want to say it's like maybe a freshman or sophomore year of high school. So this was like right around 2008, 2009, right when Facebook was getting big. And they said, like, just remember, people you see on the internet are only going to portray themselves how they see themselves as perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
it's a highlight reel, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's
the
what.
words right
And
out
I
of
think
mouth.
that's a bit of the problem. Is like no one ever like, especially working at a sports network. Like people don't ever want to be wrong. They're afraid to be wrong. So you get too PC. But everyone's so afraid to have an opinion or anything like that anymore that I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry if I offend you.
Is what it is.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take it that like I'd rather not offend you, but I don't want to say I'm soft.
We're
It's
at a
just
stage in society where you offend somebody no matter what you say.
Correct.
If you say that is clear, someone's gonna be like, "Wait a minute, it's more translucent." And you're like, "Okay, well, semantics."
right.
Yeah. So
I don't. It's funny to me how we can't say I was wrong. And I've taken that the other way, man. Like, I'll just, I was wrong because I want it over with. Now, mine comes from a place of laziness. So I've talked about this in the 103 Club before. I can't decide if I'm the laziest, hardworking person ever or the most hardworking, lazy person ever. I can't.
So I will never forget the Bill Gates quote. And he said, I want lazy people working for me because they'll find the quickest way to get the job done.
Yep.
Give your toughest assignment to your laziest person because they'll find an easy way to do it.
Well, and there's two things about that. Like, think about the laziest thing you ever done, and it's probably the most creative thing you ever done. Like the remote's across the room, but you use your blanket to go. Like that's creativity. That's using something, a tool. But also, what was the quote I was gonna say? Damn it.
I done did messed you up.
You did. No, it's that people like me, you, and Nick Leach, even though we're grinders and we work hard, we still perceive ourselves as lazy. And lazy people think when they do something that they've done something. People that grind think no matter how much I work, I'm lazy. And it's a scary mindset to get in sometimes because, like, no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you accomplish, you still feel like you aren't doing enough. I feel that.
Yeah, okay, so that's why I got a kind of a different spin on
Okay.
how I operate, where I love, and maybe this was a pandemic, and a result of the pandemic, or whatever. I love sitting at home on my deck in the summer and turning the baseball game on and having a bourbon or whatever. Like, I love that. That is, and I can only do that when all the stuff's done. All the
Right.
games are prepped for,
Right.
all the shows are prepped for, and all that. It's very fleeting that I get the opportunity to do that. And so I've turned that in my life to where I power through everything so I can get back to that point where I can do nothing.
Right. But like today, I just TD'd your show.
Right.
We're doing this podcast. I'm about to be on the stage with Ermani for the bottom line. And I'm still going to end the day feeling like I didn't do enough. And I think that's like...
See, we're a little different in that respect. Like I'll walk, because I'm doing the same deal, right? Like I do the show. I'm going to go home. I got television for Detroit City tonight. I'll go do the match.
But you're still feeling like you didn't
That's
do
a
anything.
grind. And I'm just like, but when it's over, I'm going to be like, wow, we got it in today, man. That's how I feel. I'm like, we did a lot of shit today.
Yeah, I'm still like, man, there's so much I got to do.
But see, my problem is it rolls right in. So next week, I'm going out of town. I'm doing MLS matches for ESPN, and I got 3 of them in 24 hours. And so that is to prepare for 6 teams in that short amount of time, Easter Sunday. So that's pretty much off the board. Monday, we got the show. I have to MC an event at Oakland Monday night. So Monday's a lost day of preparation. Tuesday, I fly down. We got a match Tuesday night. Like that's the go time. So it's got to be done tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I've been working through it all week. Like every minute I'm awake, I'm working on either the show or I'm working on the rosters for the games. Every single minute. I can't wait till it's over. I just want to take a Saturday night at home and not do shit.
Yeah,
I just want to get back to that point.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I was actually talking to some of the LJ girls yesterday, and I was like, this is going to be the first summer I've had in over 10 years where I don't work 60 to 70 hours a week during the summer and don't have to work weekends. So, like, for me, like, I'm just used to that. So, like, even now, like, I'll go home and I'll find something to edit. I'll work on, let's say, a resume or something. Like, I always feel like I have to be...
A resume?
Like, I'm
What? Wait a minute.
Like, I feel like I always need to be doing something like that. Like, I feel like if I'm just, like, to Neil's point, like, if I'm just sitting around watching even, like, a baseball game, even
that's
though we're
Nirvana
sports,
to me.
Like, to me, I feel
Nirvana.
like I could be doing something on my laptop. I could be learning something when it comes to
See,
editing or something.
I very much am not that.
Yeah,
like
it's
when
weird for me.
when the calendar's cleared, I'm watching that game and I'm not doing shit. I'll pop up and chew baskets with the kids or whatever in the driveway or throw the football around with if they want to do that shit, I'll do it with them. But I'm not. I'm out. I don't give a shit.
See, I gotta go
An
like
email
that.
comes on the watch or whatever. Fuck that. I don't care. I'm not getting back to them until Monday. Once it's shut off, it's off.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
My
Love
brain's
that.
not
Love that.
wired like that right now. Like, it needs to be because that's very healthy for you to do. But for me, I'm like, okay, what else can I be doing? Especially like being the head of social here. Like, there's always something that can
Well,
be
yeah,
social.
you're on,
Yeah.
and that's the nature of your job. Like
Right.
you're in that 24/7 news cycle. Your shit's a little bit different in that respect. I have time certainty where I know 11 to 1, it's the go time. I know I have this game this week. I have to be ready for this
figured
game.
out, man. Like,
10 years in the game, dude. Like,
that's it.
well, about 12 years in the game. So,
That work-life balance is a very important thing.
well, yeah, but it's also too, it's weird, man, because I've gotten to the point now where people would slit their throat to have the career that I have now. And I'm very cognizant of that. Like people would be like, "Oh, yeah, cry about how busy your week is and stuff like that." I'd die to do that job, and they would. And I understand that. So that's why I tolerate it.
And that's what I tell people all the time when they're like, man, you're so busy. You're always doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not laying brick. I'm not digging ditches.
100%.
Like, I'm not doing manual labor. To
My parents worked in the car factories,
Yeah,
bro.
My dad was a truck driver.
Mine too.
Like, my mom delivered mail for the post office, walking 87 miles a day. Like, they grind it out this life. We sit at desks and, like, look for viral content. And
Yeah.
try to be funny on the air.
I
That's
talk
what, like-
shit into a microphone.
Right.
Well, and that's what, like, anytime, like, even someone, like, and not to sound like a dick to anybody here, but, like, anytime someone comes in here and, like, oh, like, that was a long day. That was a rough day. Like, there is definitely mental exhaustion, like, being mentally exhausted. But, like, my dad's worked labor jobs since he was 13. He's a truck driver, too. He's unloaded, like, 1,700 boxes from trucks and stuff like that. And he always made the joke. It was like, you don't know what tired is. And to his credit, I don't.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. And
Different generation.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
yeah, and I'm not, again, I'm not I'm not shaking the fist at the generation or anything like that. There's also a flip side to that coin in that, and this is going to sound like the dick thing, but I'm talented too, and I'm talented because I've worked hard at it.
Yeah.
And there
Honed your craft.
1,000,000%. There's
Right.
not a lot of people that can do what I do.
Right.
And again,
And
that's
why
going
you
to
get paid what you do to do
that's
what you
that's
do.
why I make the money I make
Right.
to do what I do.
Right.
And that does sound like being a dick, but it all
what
goes
it
into
is.
it.
It goes back to that Martin Luther King quote, like, be the Michelangelo of whatever you are. If you're a sportscaster, be the best at it. If you're a street sweeper, sweep those streets the best that anybody could ever do it. So no matter what your craft is, be the best at it. You're a plumber,
Right.
be the best damn plumber there's ever been on the planet.
I think I told you guys the story. I might not have, but when I got the deck built on my house, like they put like a brick chimney on there for a fireplace,
Nice.
and I watched this dude.
When's he gonna have us over?
I don't know.
Never.
That's
No.
a sacred ground.
But they were there working one day, and I was home, and this dude, man, the bricks got like a pattern in it, and this dude was a killer, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he was. You could just how you don't have to know everything to know when somebody's great at something when you're watching it.
Right.
Like that was this brick dude, and I was like, man, I hope that the next place he's at, it probably won't be the case, but whoever's deck he's building next, I hope if the people are there and they see it, like I hope they appreciate what this guy's bringing to the table right now, because it was incredible to watch.
Yeah.
A guy laying brick.
And I'm sure he will be rewarded for that skill set.
Well, yeah, because I know how much that deck cost.
Right.
So and justifiably so, it should, man.
Right.
Guy was talented, bro.
And that's how society rolls. You use your talent to create money to pay somebody else for their talent to do something. And that's
Well, it's
the
a circle
service.
of life.
Yeah, it is a circle of life.
I like it.
Cue the Lion King music.
Yeah. This is the circle.
Like,
Nectar of the gods. Well, guys, that was a fun 103 Club
It was a
today.
fun
Short and
103.
sweet. We
Yeah.
missed it last week for opening day. Did you guys enjoy your opening day? Can we like, touch on that for like 2 minutes? Then
Yeah,
we'll
2
wrap
minutes.
this bitch up.
You mean-
Oh, you got to go.
I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed it maybe for a different reason than everybody else did. I enjoyed it because Woodward was on the scene, and it was apparent. And what we're doing here at Woodward, it's a matter of time, guys.
Yeah.
If you're watching this right now, because you're already part of it. I don't want to be William Wallace and say it's a revolution or anything like that, but it was apparent. There was a presence of one sports entity downtown. There was not a presence of another sports entity downtown, and I'll leave it at that. You guys can fill in the blanks.
mine was as much as opening day was awesome.
And the Woodward heavyweights dancing on a stage.
Poor Leach.
Mine was Masters Friday. Tiger Woods on the golf course. I had the best. You had I had the Tiger. I had a war room set up at my house.
Hey, dork.
I had the Tigers on one TV, Augusta and the Masters on another TV, more Masters on another screen. So I was living my best life last Friday, even though I was not down there. And Stick actually texted me. He goes, "I wish you were down here right
I
now."
did text him that.
So that was pretty cool. But I was having a blast at home watching Tiger, Augusta, and golf. That's
I
my
just
favorite
know
weekend of the year.
If we take Nick Leach up on that stage, crowd's going to go crazy.
They're hype.
People don't know about Nick Leach when the Stick does.
Oh,
now.
he's talking in the third person.
See, it's a whole different animal.
And here I
It's a
am
whole-
saying, man, I'm going to sound like a real dick when I say this, but
Yeah.
I'm very talented at what I do. But I never said Neil Rule's very talented at what he does.
Neil Rule hasn't seen my dance moves yet. That's
Well,
why.
I think a lot of people got to see what I do, and they haven't seen what I do. Like, not too many people know about my club hosting here, because it was kind of a previous life. But
I do.
that's what we do. We hype up the crowd. We have a good time.
That's another thing I like about you, man. Low key. I do. I heard that voice before.
Stick
I
is
was
a
out there
totally
in that
different
crowd.
person. Sam Day is a totally different person.
They are different entities, and actually, Adam and I talk about that because when he's on the morning show, he's amped up Adam, and that's not Adam all the time. He's a very thoughtful,
Very reserved.
very
Yeah,
reserved,
very
very
reserved.
smart. But you got to be able to separate your on-air persona
Right.
from. And
It's a job, man.
And when I have a wireless mic in my hand and the DJ's playing a song, the girl I went out with last night was like, she came to the party and she was like, I didn't expect that out of you. Like, she was like, you were saying things on the mic that I didn't think were appropriate. And I was like,
It's the job.
Well, bitches love it.
I think that's a good ride out there. 103 Club. Bitches love it.
Bitches
Just love it.
Casual, but not for casuals. Have a great Friday, everybody.
Well, see you later.